Hey YouTube, Lufenia era is almost upon the city of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global, and I know some of you are real worried about it. How do I deal with orbs? What armor do I get? Well, worry not, because I got a tier list for you, explaining exactly who you need and who's the best to prioritize, and how to really knock it out of the park. This tier list is specifically going to be for the early Lufenia era. By the end of the video, you will know exactly who is a must-pull, a must-have, and how to tackle the Lufenia era with ease. All I ask is that you watch the entire video from start to finish. That way you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, what I mean to do with this video, and you won't be confused in the comment section. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single thing. Lastly, before we get started, I want to ask anyone who has not subscribed already to go ahead and subscribe and leave a like while you're at it. It really helps out my channel. Really gives me motivation to keep doing these things. I know most of you who are watching are not subscribed at this moment, so it would be a huge benefit to my channel, and I keep providing quality content such as this. Each tier that I've defined will be timestamped in the description below and in the comments, but please, again, don't skip around, watch it from start to finish. First, we have to define what the tiers are. First, we have top tiers. They are the content destroyers, the carriers, the monsters, the ones you see in all the YouTube videos. These guys will make Lufenia a breeze. High tier. They're good for the party. They're not killers like top tier, but you know, they're good to have. They fit nicely. Mid tier can make a dent here or there, but they need some strong team building around them. They're still plenty viable, mind you, but watch out. You might need to carry them along a bit. Low tier are people that make me and the rest of the community sad. They are borderline useless, and they're likely getting subbed out for a burst friend unit. And trash, don't pull on them, skip them, they're trash, make fun of them on social media because they're whack. Looking at you, Sarah. And now to start off the top tier, we have the Lufenia queen herself, Lightning. Noctis and Ardent, who? Oh, she takes the throne, and she stays there for way too long. She's pretty much unmatched for about 4 months straight into Lufenia. She can do solos, delays, big damage, and even when devs try to shut her out, she works anyways. It's insane. Forget all those pities you did 1 to 2 months ago on Noctis and Ardent. Lightning is the big queen. They don't even exist anymore. They're just gone. They don't exist. Bye. She's so good, she honestly deserves a tier of her own. That's just crazy. Next, we have the extremely hyped, worthy of the hype, mind you, and overpowered Gladio. He is basically a Galuf Bosch 8 Squall Lena. He's got solid auras, including party overflow and healing, attack and defense down counter with taking 0 HP damage. Oh, and the buff is extendable. What were they thinking? He's taken everywhere for a reason, and he really, again, deserves the hype. He's just such a broken unit. Don't expect to clear any Lufenia without him. He is a must pull, must pity, always. Oh, and he can solo very old content, which makes him even more of a must pull. I mean, soloing Dimensions End tier 4? Oh, man, that really shows how good a character is. Next up in high tier, we have Kuja, the Dark Messenger. Oh boy, my favorite villain. The Church of Kuja is back, baby. He becomes a holy enchanter for some reason, and he's really just a huge leap in terms of burst effects. On top of that, he's just the farming god with his LD, and he just deletes all summons. Summon board farming, here we come, finish them all at once. I love to use them until Holy Absorb, but don't worry about that. I mean, Absorb makes sense. The devs' balancing strategy and the trend of Lufenia as a whole is to encourage a wide roster, which makes tier lists slightly pointless because content changes so much you know what? Don't worry about that. Pull Gladio, okay? How could I forget? High tier. Kurasame from Type 0. The teacher. Bootleg Kakashi. He's basically a Gabrant, Charlotta, Palom, Sync Cloud. HP damage up? Go Burr. He might do garbage brave damage outside of synergy, but you know what? Don't worry about that. And when I said Burr, that was a double entendre. Burr is in cold, and Burr is in all the damage you're going to be doing, because HP damage up. Wow. Rounding out the top tier, we have Arden in co-op. Getting to 5 stacks of the Fedora is a myth. Never do that. C65 on a non-broken target, right into burst to open up an EX level co-op. Oh lord. Man, it just puts a giant grin on my face seeing Arden's misplay in co-op. Just that crazy, just wombo combo. Man, that ain't Falco. And then doing your EX right after you start the burst, that's it right there. Double jump, who needs 3 attacks? And a free skill? Pfft. Not only that, they will end the co-op and will never have gotten to 5 stacks. And when they do burst, it'll be at the very end. Even more points for if those Ardents don't even have weapon passives. Like these, we're just on a whole new level. This is the premier co-op experience. And to close off top tier, we have Rude, Mr. Worldwide himself. He converts overheals right into battery. He doesn't take up any party buff slots, he heals on everything, super efficient, and he works pretty much everywhere. He might look like Pitbull, but that's okay, because he's going to put in work for a very long time. Definitely grab him if you have the resources. Now we have high tier. Let's get right into it with Warrior of Light. He is the better 9 that everyone was saving for, while also simultaneously skipping him for Gladio. His LD gives him party HP damage mitigation based on shield value. His shields might turn into paper once he starts being synergy, but it's good stuff at base. His rework doesn't change much besides giving him more gained overflow and skill uses, but he does his job even better. Definitely high tier. Next in high tier we have Noctis and Arden, just because these guys were hyped so hard. How long are you actually using them for? 1, 2 months? Because everyone's focused on Lightning's burst next month. Who's bringing them to Lufenia consistently once Lightning is out? How much fun are they? Actually, you know what? Let's just keep going. Next in high tier, we have 8. Ocho. This man, he can solo Dimension's End. He can solo his own Lufenia. And solos, that's what really matters. That's what makes a person good. That's what gets you the YouTube views. Wait, doesn't that mean you're top tier? Well, hold on. Anyways, he's a great character. But people are gonna say he's a worse Gladio, so he's a skip. But he's also high tier because of the solos. Gotta balance it out, you know. He also has the added benefit of extending all your fights by 10 minutes roughly, just because he spends so much time countering. I mean, great. Skip, because Next up, Realm. She can tackle a couple early orbs, but she's kind of a pain to manage otherwise. She eats up the orb with her consecutive turns after the enemy takes an action, but hype over facts. She's good for Kurasame, but Kurasame is meta, so I guess you don't really need Realm there. She's also good for Gao, but you can DPS the Gao orb and Kuja's the burst synergy, and you can just stomp over that. I guess if you wanted to counter, but you could bring Gladio, who's meta too, so you don't really need Realm there. Yikes. She's good for Bahamut, but not without Kuja or another burst, according to YouTube, which is the most reliable source for the game. Don't worry about that. Next in high tier, we have unmaxed units. Just like those Ardens in co-op. When they aren't maxed and they burst and just waste your time, totally high tier. Don't mind that a new weapon tier has started and a new difficulty is right now, but we're still trying to hoard ingots for who knows what. Who needs extra damage, utility, and buff start? Just get the stats and keep it moving. Don't worry, once the game shuts down, you'll be able to flex all your 100 ingots that you never used. Good job, you won the game. Lastly in high tier, we have Reno. He's got great debuffs and great utility with his LD just shutting out pretty much any attack that comes your way just for one turn. He's not great damage wise, but his attack downs are so severe and he has a framed Thunder Imperil, which means he's lightning compatible, and that's a big yes. His Lufenia is truly awful, and you pick him up, and you're guaranteed pretty much a win. So, yeah, high tier. Now, mid tier, we have Camlanai. He gets a good rework and a good LD that kind of solve all his problems. Adel is a really strong debuff, and it's 3 turns now. He's got overall good debuff auras, but he's hard to slot in a team, but he's still solid when he can do what he needs to do. Unfortunately, he does not enchant himself and has half ice damage, but he's still very good at disabling the enemy. Additionally, his LD call is one of the best bravery funds pretty much in the game. Sadly, if his little brother ends up getting the burst over him, Cam is just cancelled, gone, bye, banned. Next, we have Gao. He now has a party earth enchant. Sadly, he doesn't double counter like we expect him to do on his release, but he does have the benefit of doing off-turn heals, and he counters along with other counter units, so he pairs really well. But sadly, since he counters, that makes him a worse Gladio, and you know, gotta get Gladio no matter what. Never mind that Gao and Gladio work amazingly well, with Gladio getting buffed counters due to the Imperil and Gao healing him in the off turns, and their synergy together, but just don't worry about that. He's a worse Gladio. In fact, I could have just ended this tier list with just Gladio. Pull Gladio and you have one Lufenia. It's that simple. But let's continue on. Aranea for mid tier. Oh no. Where did she go? As soon as LD era started, I remember hearing that she was better than Squall, and Squall was crept on release, but I don't see her anywhere. What happened? It's crazy. As soon as a new weapon tier came into mind, she just disappeared from the hive mind. Fascinating, really. I just don't even see her on my friends list anymore. It's almost like she's not in the game. I just forgot about her completely. Did everyone get tired of her finally? I mean, I'm with it. Reaching the tail end of mid tier, we have the people who don't realize this video and the last one were satire and jokes. Oh man, look at these dudes.
Look at this dude.
If you made it this far in the video, leave a comment talking about something I said about Reno. That'll make it sound legit, right? Let me just show off a highlight reel of some comments that made my day for people who clearly didn't watch the video. It was incredible, the bait I laid, and people just fell for it. It's nuts. I said how many times to watch the full video, and I was so sarcastic, and yet people just jumped to the end. It's amazing what the YouTube analytics show for that video. I tried to make this one a bit more character focused and less talking about general takes I heard, so let me know if you like that too. Just be slightly discreet about it, I guess. Also, any other spicy takes you think I glossed over or missed out on, I'd love to hear those too. I'm going to put a lopsided list at the end of this. It's going to be very obvious that it's a joke and people are still going to fall for it. What's even crazier is that I linked a video in the card about how I think tier lists are stupid. It's, I don't know. Humanity continues to fail me. Anyways, let's keep it moving. The bottom of mid tier, we have Edge, who can cheese some early Lufenia orbs just by dodging, because they didn't realize that we'd start doing that. You need to carry his damage hard, because he's not doing much at all. If you're a loser and a coward, he's the perfect unit, because you just won't get hit. Now we are going to kick off low tier, and who better to kick it off than the real low tier god of the Lufenia era, Sephiroth, also known as the Zell of burst weapons. He's got a good LD, 30% brave damage up for whoever hits him. Sadly, he did not receive a rework, and his kit's still just kind of garbage. However, LD boards and a potential rework can save him, so I'm holding out on that, but nothing can save that awful burst animation. He's not even the best character for his featured event. What's going on there?
Bruh.
Next up for low tier is Strago. Don't worry about the fact that he has crazy results, being used as recent as Kadaj's Lufenia in JP. If you aren't tuned into the community at all, nor know how to copy-paste names in Japanese from the Cydia database and search on YouTube, he sucks. I made a whole video explaining why he's not as bad as people might think he is, but if you haven't seen that, yeah, low tier. Especially since doing your research and having an informed opinion is not a thing. He is just a DPS, and he falls off fast. Yup, I'm smart. Next, we have anyone who wants a permanent Chaos co-op. Get a life. I know that you spend all day using idojas and trying to get perfect artifacts, and the incoming mod pass quality of life in global will help alleviate that. Unfortunately, most of the human population does not spend at least 10 hours a day on this game. Nobody wants that. You're gonna break up the co-op community and you're just gonna leave a sour taste in everybody's mouth because the game will be too grindy. Putting this game down is a blessing. Be very grateful that Global only had to do 20 Chaos co-ops to get all the rewards and not the 50 that JP had to do. That was terrible. Permanent Chaos co-ops would kill off the player base that actually has a life. Stop asking for it. It should not happen and it will kill the game. Stop. Just don't do it. Leave it alone. Go take a walk, go read a book, I don't know, something else, but not Chaos co-op. Don't suggest the rest of the population to that just because you have nothing better to do. Lastly, in low tier, we have Thancred. Oh man, he'd been ignored for so long, and they got close, but no cigar. I mean, his kit's good, but not quite for Lufenia. He doesn't have that oomph that'll keep him relevant. Maybe someone will do a Thancred saga, but I can't really see it. Hopefully they reworked him with an LD in mind, but it's been a while since he's gotten touched and he's rerun as just EX Synergy a couple times. Not optimistic. It's cool for Chaos though, I guess. Whatever. Oh boy, what everyone's been waiting for. Now we are in the trash tier. And who better to start off the trash tier? We have Vivi. Oh man, sorry bro. They did you dirty. What was that rework in EX Plus, man? Hopefully they had an LD in mind for you too, bruh, but you're just looking real sorry right now, man, and I hate it because you're such a great character in 9. They just don't love you in this game, homie. I don't know what it is. Hopefully you get a rework in LD soon. Something. Please. Please. Next in trash tier, we have Kieran. He's actually a great character, but your lost chapter's stupid, your game flopped, they blew the multiplayer. I'm salty I waited for so long and was so hyped just to get such an underwhelming product, so I'm taking all that anger out on you. Great unit, bad game, trash. Next in trash tier, people who will still be mad in the comments over this video. Oh man, hoes mad. Especially anyone who hasn't subscribed and liked this video. 30% subscribe rate? Come on guys, you can do better than that. Help your boy out. Next, we have the people who will call things easy because they use Synergy and or Lightning Burst and Gladio. Wow, how impressive. You use broken characters and are bragging on social media about how easy everything is. You're a champ. You are a net positive society, a gentleman, and a scholar, and really, I just look forward to being reminded of your existence. Next in trash tier, we have the guy who pointed out that there were no mid-roll ads in the last video. Now he's making me look like a hypocrite. Come on, man. Why would you put me in that position? Man, this is not a charity. Last in trash tier, and this is a bit of low-hanging fruit, but Zell. He's been pathetic for like 2 years straight now. He finally came back with boards on Zande Lost Chapter. I don't know what to say his name, but hopefully he'll get the LD and stop being a meme, but I'm not optimistic. Fingers crossed, but for now, Zell, you trash, bro. And now we are at the end of the list. If you skipped here from the timestamps and didn't watch the whole video, I really suggest you go back or else you might be a little confused because I explain literally everything in this video. If you're confused, please go back and watch it. I'll say it again. With that disclaimer out of the way, here's the list. I know some of you said it was hard to see last time, so I made it a bit easier and focused it really on the units that were highlighted in this video. I'll be leaving a link to the image in the comments and the description so everyone can find it. I play JP, so therefore, my word is law, and I'm always right. I'm not one of those people who have a JP account and played for a month or two and then intermittently quit and only flex their polls, but like to say how much they know about content when their only experiential wins is on YouTube. And if this list upsets you or anything else, please let me know in the comments, but just know there's 0% chance I can be wrong. And that's it. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, I ask you to please leave a like because this video might be a little controversial. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share this video everywhere. Spread the gospel of this true, ultimate, early Lufenia tier list. Leave a comment with your thoughts. I'll be interacting with everybody. Love to hear what you guys have to say. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.